Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. So a little bit about me. My name is Linette Starr Brookins, and I'm here to encourage you to vote for the only star on your ballot in August. Okay? And I say that because I'm the most qualified candidate in this race, and I have a heart for service. What's encouraging me to run and what led to my impetus to run is my love for this community. And anyone who knows me or who has seen me around knows that I care about this community and I've been deeply uprooted in this community. So currently I have the pleasure of serving as the president of the Hillsborough Association for Women Lawyers. And I'm also the vice president of the Guardian Ad Litem Foundation of Tampa Bay, where we advocate for abused and neglected children. I also serve on the board of numerous boards, right? So I'm a leader through and through, a proven leader, someone who has been boots on ground in this community for over 2 decades, 4th generation Tampa native. And I say that despite the fact that my dad was in the military, so I'm a military brat, right? I was actually born in Wiesbaden, Germany. I do not speak any German. I do not. We came back when I was just a baby, but we visited home at least every quarter. We moved back home when I was in the 8th grade. I have excelled academically. I graduated from Jefferson High School, a part of the first class that instituted their Law and Magnet Academy. Graduated first in that Law and Magnet Academy. And graduated second of all of the Magnet Academies. I went on to the University of Tampa, got my undergrad degree in 3 years, graduated with magna cum laude distinction, and then I went on to a top 20 law school, George Washington, where I graduated as a Presidential Merit Scholar. And then I came back home and I got to work. I served in a prosecutorial role initially, which I think is incredibly important for a judicial candidate, because what you're doing in that role is that people are bringing you evidence, right? And saying, do we have enough to do something? Do we have enough to win this hearing? Do we have enough to do something very serious, like take this child away from their parents, right? And so I was in that role and I elevated very quickly, serving as senior trial attorney as well as an assistant, as well as in a supervisory position while I was in that position. It's also in that position that I met my daughter, who I adopted when she was 17. She had spent much of her life in foster care, and for some reason, I decided it was a good idea to adopt her during her senior year of high school.
Wow. Lucky you.
Lucky me, right?
Lucky you.
So after that, I was an assistant public defender, and I was handling appeals. So having to stay on top of a lot of research, read thousands and thousands of pages. And basically what you do in appeals is you look at what trial judges have done and you're like, that's not right. You're violating someone's rights. Something wasn't done there. So I served in that role. And then while I was doing an oral argument before the court, an attorney in the area interviewed me and he stole me away from public service. And so I've been doing civil insurance for the past 8 years. I've assisted people who are filing lawsuits, assisted people who are being sued, and just helped work them and navigate through those unknown waters. And that's also one of the reasons why I would love to serve as your judge. In addition to having tried over 100 cases to both juries and judges at the state level, the federal level, all the way down from a trial that lasts for a few hours all the way up into trials that last for about 2-3 weeks. So I have been in the courtroom every day. I know what it takes, litigated cases throughout the state of Florida. And in addition to that, I'm also a hearing officer. So I get to preside over cases and make decisions. So, not a lot of judicial candidates, they don't have that experience, right? That neutral arbiter experience. I have both. I've been in the courtroom day in and day out, and I've also had to take on that other role of making those tough decisions that affect everyone's life. And someone who is in that position, who knows how critical each and every case is to each and every person. But because to everyone, that's the most important case, right? And I treat it like that's the most important case before me, because it is. So I really appreciate your support. This is my way of elevating my service to the community. Y'all deserve the very best. And so I hope that you guys can see and that it's evident through what you've heard from me that I'm a hard worker and that I'm going to work just as hard for each and every one of you should you choose to elect me. So again, please vote for the only star on your ballot on August 20th. Thank you so much for having me.